Hi folks, good morning and welcome to another episode of Ferrum Wrestling 411. I'm your host Gary Holden. I'm the Assistant AD and Sports Information Director. With me as always is Head Wrestling Coach Nate Yetzer.
What's up, Gary?
Nate, let's start off. Congratulations are in order. Another member of the Yetzer and wrestling family here. Tell me a little bit about
boy.
Brock.
Yep, Harrison Brock.
Harrison Brock
Yetzer. Yep, he was born last Saturday around I think 4:53 a.m.
Wow.
It was a long night. I think we went into the hospital around 3 p.m.
Oof.
And then we were there till the next morning. So
a good 14-hour process.
Yeah, wife's one tough cookie. So,
how is she doing?
Doing great, man. She's healing up, and she's doing awesome. So
Everybody's,
4 boys.
Everybody's home now.
Everybody's home. Yep. Besides the dog. The dog's still at the grandparents' house.
All right. So 4 boys. Yep. So we still need 6 more to get you a full wrestling team. Is that right?
I'm tapping out. That's it for me. So, but no, it's good. It's fun. We're blessed. To have 4 great kids, healthy kids, and healthy wife, and so I get to come to work at Ferrum College every day. So we're very blessed.
Now Ethan is less than 2 years old, or right around 2 years old. So he doesn't really kind of know. But how are Jack and Nick with the?
They're doing awesome, and they're great big brothers. And even Ethan's he understands it, I think, a little bit. And he's a great big brother too. He's very helpful, and
good.
So it's good. We've always wanted to have a big family, so it's nice.
Well, every time I drive by, swing by your house and everything, you guys are outside working on things. I see the boys pushing a wheelbarrow or picking up sticks, doing whatever. They all seem like it's a great family atmosphere.
I appreciate that. Thanks. Yeah, we're blessed. Very blessed.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
All right, let's get to a little bit of wrestling.
Yeah.
You were back here because when we went to the York, the new Standard Invitational up in York last weekend, you obviously couldn't leave. Your wife was getting ready to have a baby and everything. And you sent Daniel Ownby, your assistant. The guys went up to York, Pennsylvania, and came back with a 9th place finish. Couple of great individual finishes, specifically Logan Meister, making it all the way to the finals. Finished with a 4-1 record that day. Lost in the finals, but to the #1 ranked kid in the nation. Talk a little bit about his performance there.
He had a great performance. This is good. I mean, this is what happens when you work really hard and do things the right way. And Logan has the last year and a half here, and he's doing a great job. And this is the result of that. And obviously we're not even halfway through the season yet, so there's still ways to go. But I think you got to be really happy with his growth and jumping up 2 weight classes and not really missing a beat. In fact, probably getting better. Moving up, and I think
more energy.
Absolutely, just and he's always wrestled with a lot of energy. But now he can sustain that for 7 minutes. And I think he's really found a new love for wrestling. Not having to worry about the weight issue.
Sure.
Very few guys on our team do have a weight issue, so I think it's this is why we're having success. So.
And we've seen this model become successful at the upper levels. Kyle Dake a couple of years ago at Cornell started off at 141, won a national championship, bumped up to 141, won a national championship, 149 the next year.
41, 49, 57,
65. So 4 national championships at 4 different weights, kind of proving to the world that you don't have to cut weight to be a successful wrestler. And I noticed this year Cornell's got another kid, Real Budo, has done it as well.
2 or 3 weight classes.
And a couple of guys have done that. A couple of D1 guys have done that, and it looks as though they're becoming successful. Do you see this? Do you see this as a trend that coaches are going to be talking about?
Yeah, I think it has become. I look for a couple of my guys. I know they're going to move up next year. Maybe 1, maybe 2 weight classes. So you got to kind of plan ahead for that. And I think for me, I wrestled 49 my freshman year, and I made a decision that I wasn't going to cut weight anymore in college. I was going to focus on, getting a better lifestyle. There's trade-offs. So people, everybody wants to move up. Everybody doesn't want to cut weight. But at the end of the day, you got to make sure you're doing things outside the room right. You're putting the right stuff in your body. You can't you can't get fatter. And expect to have success. Yeah, exactly. Logan's been committed to weight training. And this is why his body's grown, and this is why he's adjusted to the weight really well. Guys that just want to move up just because they don't want to cut weight. And you don't train for that. You don't take weight training very seriously over the summer, over the spring, over the fall. Then you might as well stay down. Because you set yourself up for failure. But I think it's become, I don't want to say a trend, but maybe a little bit, I guess. I'm a big fan of it just because I didn't cut weight after my first year in college, and it made my last 3 years of college wrestling enjoyable, and I got better, and I still had that love for wrestling versus being drained with cutting weight. And
how high a weight class did you go up to?
I jumped 3 weight classes. I went from 49 to 74. That's where I was an All-American at 174. But for me, and I tell guys all the time, if you make that decision, for me it took me about, obviously it was Division I, but it took me about probably 18 to 19 months to really get adjusted to the weight. So a whole year and a half.
Wow.
I didn't have hardly any success until about 19 months into it, making that decision. The day I made that decision, the day I actually wrestled that way, it took about 19 months to really, to really adjust to it. And that's with minimal success. I mean, I didn't have, I was a national qualifier, and then it probably took me another 12 months to get really adjusted to it to where I was good enough to be an All-American. So if guys make, you make that decision, you really got to commit yourself to the weight room and getting better at wrestling. So, and I think, I think Logan did that, so that's why he's having success.
Well, another wrestler that's made the jump for you this year at 133 pounds, Rob Cunningham.
Yep.
He jumped up from 25 to 33. Seems as though he's able to hold that weight off, and it's a good weight class for him. He seems like he's strong enough for that weight class.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Robert's, he's always been, I think, strong enough to wrestle 33, but, I think, maybe he should have went 33 sooner, I don't know, but I know he's having success, and he's adjusted to the weight faster than I thought he would. I thought it would take a little while because he's relied on being stronger than everybody else.
Right.
At 25, 33, he really hasn't missed a beat. He's got a couple losses this year, but the one loss was a close loss to the returning national champion. And the other two losses he had were this weekend. I lost 2 matches by 2 points total.
Okay.
And both of them he got ridden, and that's why he lost. So, I mean, we fixed that. He's right in the mix.
So he finished 4th in the tournament.
Right. Yep.
You had
his weight class is loaded too.
You had another place winner, Tate Delaney, finished 3rd. Came back after early loss. He won a couple matches and got to like the quarterfinals.
Right. Yep.
And then lost. Came back down. Had to fight through. And we all know that it's a dog pound down there trying to get through for 3rd place and everything. You got to really be able to grind it out.
And he finished 5th, so he finished with a win. I always like to see guys that finish with a win. That's pretty important. So, but he did a great job. Him and he's another guy who's Tate's bought in. He's he lifts hard, and he does all the right things in the summer and in the spring and fall, and this is why he's having success at heavyweight.
Gotcha.
So, yep.
How about Paul Biggs? Started off with an early round loss, got caught, looks like in the 3rd period, 6:32, he got pinned, and then comes back and wins 7 straight matches through the back bracket, loses another one, and ends up finishing 5th.
Right, yep.
That's got to be a good sign for someone like him to do that.
Absolutely. I mean, it's kind of known for that a little bit. He kind of rallies after. It seems like he loses a lot early, and then he rallies back through and kind of starts to get in a rhythm. You know what I mean? And then he's really hard to beat. I mean, he beat a guy from SUNY Cortland, who was I think number 7 or 8 in the country. Lost to him at the Monarch a couple weeks ago. Got teched by him, and then turns around and almost majored him this weekend.
Wow.
So once Paul gets in the zone, he's really hard to beat. He's really good. Yeah, but he can't lose early. He's got to kind of learn from that, and because he's setting himself up to where his back is against the wall, the consies, So and in regionals, you can only lose once. You know what I mean? You got to come all the way back through and take 3rd. So if you do lose, so
well, it seems it was a good tournament for him and everything. So all right, let's talk a little bit about you had a number of wrestlers that were in the tournament. Everything did fairly well. You had a lot of young kids in there, a couple like 2 and 3 guys in some of the weight classes. You have one guy that scores points for the team and everything. Were you pretty pleased with how some of those extra guys did in the tournament? I was.
I think for the most part, I think it sounded like their effort was good. It sounded like maybe they weren't quite clicking. I think this is the time of year, especially with young guys, and the majority of our guys that we took were freshmen. And this is the toughest one-day tournament in the country, I think, in Division III.
Sure, that's a very. It was
14 teams right from the top 25 in the country, or 12
tough.
or something. So I think I think those guys learned that a lot of them didn't have good workouts leading up to the tournament because they're some of them are tired. They're beat up. And this season, it probably feels like a whole season already for them.
Sure.
We're only halfway through.
Sure.
So and I knew it'd be kind of like that a little bit, but I like to see guys fight through that.
Sure.
Being homesick, being ready for a break, especially young guys. So.
Start hearing the Christmas carols and everything.
Yeah, exactly. They want to do the mama thing, the mama, the girlfriend thing. Exactly. Yeah.
Going home and eating and everything.
So, but I think it was important for them to go there and compete, and for some of us, it's important getting their butt kicked because I think it kind of woke them up to what, hey man, if you want to be good, this is what it takes. And I think you look at the 4 guys that placed for us, they're all 3 and 4 year guys.
Right.
So they have the experience of kind of knowing how to grind through that stuff.
Sure.
So.
Sure.
But ninth place the team, and we sat 3 starters. I think 3 stars. So I think I do think we were better than 9th. I think we were top 16, top 5 team there.
Okay.
We still got some work to do. But
you placed ahead of 3 ranked teams.
Right. Yep.
And then when the national rankings came out by IntermatWrestle.com, you were rewarded. You ended up getting our first ever national ranking, 21st in the nation. Logan Meister just jumped from being unranked, maybe on the bubble for being ranked, to all of a sudden ranked number 5 in the nation, and probably had something to do with that 6-4 loss to the number 1 kid in the nation in the finals.
Right. Well, I think it's the guys he beat and finished ahead of more than the loss to the Williams kid. I think he's beat. Now he's beat in the top 20. I think I counted. He's beat 4 or 5 of those kids already. So, which is good. I mean, that's the whole point of our schedule. I think we have the toughest first semester schedule in the country, Division III, and I set it up that way. For our guys to get tested.
Sure.
I mean, they're going to get tested again next week at the Gator Duels, where we went 0-4 last year.
Yeah.
So I think.
But that'll pay off down the road, right?
Absolutely.
You get into the end of January, beginning of February, and then your regionals come up the end of February, beginning of March. It's got to really have them prepared for that.
Yeah, exactly. And quality wins. They get quality wins. They help me out when I go in and try to get a seed for the regionals, which is the older I get, the more I see how important that is. You know what I mean? To get a good seed, to set yourself up, for a good draw. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let's face it. Being an All-American, being a national qualifier, it takes a little bit of luck too. You got to be on the right side and all that stuff.
Match up well,
exactly,
against good people and everything.
Exactly.
So good. Well, let's talk a little bit about Gator Boots Duel. You're in finals right now. Today's Thursday the 10th. You're in finals until the 15th. You come back, you start training. You're going down to the Gator Boots Duels, Nashville, Tennessee. Last year it was a very tough tournament. Teams out of Iowa, a lot of Midwest teams. Who's there this year? Is it Loris?
A lot of the same teams. In fact, I think we'll probably wrestle 3 of the same teams we wrestled last year, and then the 4th team will probably be somebody different. But
who were the teams that you wrestled last year?
We wrestled Heidelberg, we wrestled Loris, we wrestled Luther, and we wrestled Elmhurst.
And Luther is the host. They're out of Iowa.
Right. Yep. And they're the best one there, probably.
Okay.
But this year I signed up for more of the same. But I also tried to get Olivet and Simpson College.
Okay.
Simpson's out of Iowa, Olivet's out of Michigan, just to kind of give us different looks. I mean, we never wrestled either one of those teams ever.
Okay.
And just give us some different looks. But the pairings haven't come out yet. There's either going to be 3 or 4 duels. They haven't told us yet. But it should be very, very competitive. And I tell the guys how important it is to go into Christmas break, feeling good about where we are.
Sure.
I mean, and not kind of resting on, if being 21st in the country is the highlight of our season. To me, that's a failure. You know what I mean? We still got to continue to press on, keep getting better week by week, and I think we haven't even scratched how good we could be by the end of the year. So,
well, you guys have started off with a great, done well at a couple tournaments so far. Some great finishes individually, a 5-0 start and everything. Beating 2 ranked teams at in dual meets head to head. You've placed ahead of 3 nationally ranked programs at this other tournament. So I think it's looking like the beginning of your season has been extremely successful. A lot of firsts for our program.
Right, absolutely. I mean, we're definitely making headway. And that's exciting. This is the vision, I guess, for the program. Year 3, year 3, and this is when I expected for us to start really.
Sure.
Not just sneaking a couple guys that 3rd place finishes through nationals, but getting regional champions and placing guys in the national tournament. And getting somebody in the finals. So,
well, in your regionals this year, it's already been decided. They're up at Washington and Leah up in Lexington, which is a much better drive for you than having to drive up to Pennsylvania or Scranton, Pennsylvania. So we're real excited about seeing that and everything. So
it'll be a great atmosphere. I think we're really going to, after the second semester starts, we're going to really start promoting and encourage our fans, our parents, even if your kid's not wrestling at the regional tournament, to be there to have a huge following. I think that's. You look at the great programs at nationals. There's like 7 or 8 sections. Mm-hmm. They're all filled with Wabash fans. They're filled with
Augsburg,
Wartburg, Augsburg fans, Whitewater fans. Yeah. And I think Ferrum. I think we need to get behind our guys and have the same thing.
Sure.
And have 150 people show up. Even if you're not kid's not wrestling, to support the program.
Sure.
And we're lucky. We have great sets of parents. Awesome parents. Mm-hmm. So I think we'll get there. So
good. Well, listen, I'm real excited about seeing how you guys are going to do it down in Nashville and everything. Mm-hmm. And I guess we'll come back here next week, do a real quick Christmas show, talk a little bit about that and everything, and then let the Yetzers go and enjoy their family Christmas of 6.
Yep, exactly. So.
All right. Well, congratulations
Thanks,
again
Gary.
on that.
You have a good Christmas.
Folks, that's a wrap. We'll be back next week to do a special Christmas edition of Ferrum Wrestling 411. For Nate Yetzer, I'm Gary Holden. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks.